What's going on, guys? No Guides there. Welcome to my second channel, No Guides 2. This would be kind of the raw footage, and this would be like a technical analysis, just talking over the clips. This is a game I played against a top 100 player. He's a very, very good player, and I thought I'd show. I did this. This is off stream. So this is the guy that I played. He's a very good player. If you look at his rankings, he's been there for 3 years. He averages in FIFA 19. He averages about 28, 29 wins a week. So he's basically getting top 100 week in, week out. So he's a very good player. So I get matched up against him. This is my team. I bought Hullet. Now, to be honest, apart from Hullet and Eusebio and maybe Ben Yedder, it's a pretty bang average team. And maybe I got Van Dijk as well. And I think for this stage of FIFA, it's just not good enough against the very good players. And this is what I just wanted to talk about at this game. I'll be talking briefly about the game as well, but briefly just about does team really matter in this game. But anyway, I got Neymar the gold card. Marcelo I got him for 160k, an absolute steal. And then Fernandinho is untradeable. So it's not the best. It's not the team that I want. I had 3 million coins spare, actually, funny enough. This is the team that he has. Complete God squad. Legit, no weaknesses. This is one of the teams that there's literally no weaknesses. Got Courtois on goal. OP obviously got very lucky with the red player picks. Got Ronaldo. But yeah, these teams, there's no weaknesses. There's nothing you can do to, in a sense, it becomes a situation. Now, this is kind of my opinion. When it comes to good teams and is teams really important? It's kind of debatable. I think it's important if you're up against a top player. However, I think if you're just trying to get to Elite 3, you can get Elite. That's why I do it, the 15k team, because it's pretty easy. Because the pool of players, okay, you might come across a top 100 players like I have with a 15k team. You might lose a couple of games here and there. But genuinely speaking, it's quite easy to get Elite 3. Maybe not so much now. We get the first goal, by the way, in the first minute. I wouldn't say it's kickoff. That was very poor defending. I just thought he made a mistake there. I know my usual way of defending kickoff. I'm using the 5-2-1-2. I'm going up against the 4-2-2-2, shooting from left to right, of course. And for those of you that don't know, the 5-2-1-2, basically that is 3 centre backs and the 4 backs, 1 forward. And what I discovered here at that moment was the delay was so bad that I couldn't do anything. And this is why I think when you're up against a very good player, team is the most important thing. Now I'm not trying to knock this guy. He's a very good player. He gets top 100 week in, week out. I think his team carries him more than his abilities. And I'll explain to you. Why. In this case, now I know there's a kind of a not ethos, but you kind of say a thing around. Is FIFA the most easiest way to get top 100? Is it easy to get top 100 this year? I think so. I have friends that are in top 100 and they're barely gold 1 players last year, and it's all by mechanic abuse. Now, of course, you guys, you know me, I don't abuse any mechanics. And to be honest, neither did this guy. Well, not for now anyway. He didn't do any La Croquetas. He did do one thing the first time shots, which is probably worse than La Croqueta, in my opinion. I wouldn't. It's kind of a thing where I really don't like, because it takes no skill. You don't have to get inside the box. You just shoot from anywhere, and you can't even defend against it. But anyway, it's 1-0 anyway, and then the key is to not concede. You always want to go 1-0 ahead. You want to dictate the play. But unfortunately, what happens here is I kind of realized very early on that the delay is kind of costing me in a lot of the situations. So I tried to play a very slow, methodical game. I hope I didn't take it as I was wasting time. Here I actually get done, and this is when I realized that this game's going to be a serious problem, and this is why I stopped attacking a lot from this moment. So let me just walk you through what was going through my head in this instance. So what I want to do, so I'll depict his movements by red and use mine by yellow. I was obviously trying to mark Dembele, right? So I moved Fernandinho, and I just wanted to move him into this vicinity over here. And then I wanted to change to this guy so I could obviously man mark Ronaldo. But unfortunately, when I changed the player, it was so delayed. It changed to Van Dijk, and then it changed to Busquets. And he scored. Fair play. I skipped my replay. He skipped his. or picked up the ball, whatever. And I was really upset about that goal because, to be completely honest, it wasn't my fault. I mean, the goal that he conceded, he legit overcommitted the first goal. Another thing I realized as well was the midfield battle. I missed Vieira like no tomorrow. I missed Vieira a lot. It was really difficult without Vieira. Although his passing is shocking. Here got a bit of good defending there. Yeah, I lost the midfield battle against his team because he had Hullet and Vieira. They're too OP. So what I try doing, I try creating width. I know that his wings are exploited, and the key is you don't want to go down. So I try to play a bit more. He's playing very low depths. He's playing a 4-2-2. I realized early on that his it's good baiting, by the way, we're able to throw in. I realized very early on that he's playing 4-2-2, and he's got to come back in his defense on his cams, and his strikers are unbalanced. So I knew I had to be smart. I knew I'll be killed on 299 pace players. I knew I'll be killed. So I had to defend really well. And I knew I couldn't play too much highlight. And this is the problem, I think, when it comes to teams. I think, for example, like here, he pressed really, really well. And the problem was I had Hullet in midfield, but Hullet versus Hullet, and I had Vieira versus Fernandinho. And the problem was Fernandinho was just too slow, and he just wasn't good enough. And that means that Hullet was always marked. Did some good goalkeeper movement here, just to stop that near post OP. Now I conceded. Now this is something that annoyed me even more than the first goal. Really, really lucky goal. It's unbelievable here. So let me walk you through what I did. I moved my goalkeeper here, and as soon as my goalkeeper walks over here, I let go of the analog stick. Then AI decides to commit forward. That's completely fine. AI will. So with the key is when you move a goalkeeper, movement from the corner, if you let go of the right analog stick, AI will automatically run towards the ball if he thinks he can get the ball. Do you see what I'm saying? So if AI because don't forget, AI has already worked out when this ball is in the air, right? The ball over here, when it lands over here, AI has already worked out who's going to get the ball first. That's why De Gea gets the ball first. So he'll run towards it. But what happens is he actually fouls my goalkeeper. I don't know if you notice over here. He actually fouls my goalkeeper. So De Gea trips, and that essentially causes the goal. I don't know if you can see that. If you watch his player, Eusebio runs into me. De Gea trips, and because of that, he scores. Now that should be classed as a foul, in my honest opinion. I don't even know how that's not registered as a foul in a game. But as you can imagine, two terrible goals. Well, not two terrible goals. The first goal you could say was good, but it wasn't even my fault, to be completely honest. But it was still a good goal nonetheless. But that second goal really irritated me. And the key is to not lose your head, especially against these kind of players. In my opinion, when it comes to FIFA, I think if you're playing against a top player, top 100 player, the key is not to go another goal down. People believe in dynamic difficulty. I am not one that. I think there's something there, some slider. Maybe when you go 1-0 down, you players lose stats. By the way, that's manual defending, manual slide tackling there. But I'm not one to believe in dynamic difficulty per se. In his literal form anyway. So if a player goes 3-1 ahead, he can lock a game out. When I go 3-1 ahead, I'm pretty much going to win that game. It's very unlikely I'll lose the game. If I do, it's because I've made a mistake. So my key is here. I just didn't want to be too. So again, I don't know what happened there. I actually made that pass. I actually passed over here with Hermoso. That's Hermoso, however you say his name. But I don't know what happened there. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, typically speaking, when I go 3-1 ahead, I'll win the game. Most cases, they're not. So that's why the key is at this point now, everyone's going to say go attack. I have the counter view is just to play a bit more defensive and try not to concede. Try to kill his buzz. He's probably motivated now to score. He's playing very aggressive, as you can see. He's committing his centre backs out. So I knew I could exploit it. So I just patiently wait. I don't part the bus. I have my two strikers on. I think stay forward, and I can always bring them back. And I use Neymar. Now the problem was with Neymar was stamina was the issue with Neymar, but more importantly, as I said, the physical battle was probably the most important. For example, Messi, a very short, diminutive player, very agile, but he's got 99, well, not 99 strength, he's 99 stamina, like I think high 80 strength. So it's much different. And because he was pressing me, I only had see Hullet. Hullet was the only person I could pass to in midfield. Because the problem was, on paper, what it was Fernandinho was against Vieira and Hullet was against Hullet. That's kind of how it was. And Hullet versus Hullet is a fine battle. But he would always win the battle with Vieira or Fernandinho in the air. Vieira will win. When I pass the ball to Fernandinho, Vieira will stick his leg out because he's taller. So he always won the battle. So the only person that I could always pass to was always Hullet. And this kind of, I think, cost me in the game, because that meant that the entire game I had to basically ignore Fernandinho, because A, he's too slow, B, he's not strong enough, C, he's shorter, and D, more importantly, he's nowhere near Vieira's standard. I know he costs 500k and I got him on TraderWeb, so I'm using him, but he's nowhere near. Hullet's the only player that I can use, but I think he very much realized that early on, and he kept man marking Hullet. It was quite difficult, should I say. And then at this point, I kind of respected him. I respected him so much this entire game because he didn't abuse the mechanics. And then I saw this, and then I kind of thought, well, I thought maybe I saw a top 100 player who because don't forget, there is rarely anyone that gets in top 100 who doesn't abuse mechanics. I don't care what anyone says. Their delay killed me a bit there. I can't remember what I was trying to do in hindsight, but I remember I didn't mean to do that. I can't remember what I was trying to do. I think I was trying to shield the ball first and turn. But yeah, I don't care what anyone says. There's literally no one that I know of that gets in top 100 without abusing mechanics. If they do, there's only a handful of players. Put it this way, pro players, that's good. That's good goalkeeper movement, by the way. I think I would have scored had that been green. I get you could argue I get a bit lucky. He had the AI block, but the ball does come back to me. So I think in some respect it wasn't a well-deserved goal, but it was nonetheless a goal which you could say, has to rebound somewhere. That's the most obvious place it's going to rebound. So anyway, going into half-time, I never look at stats. Stats don't mean anything to me. As I said, you could have 100. This guy could have 100 shots on target. But if you shoot from the halfway line every time, it means nothing. So this guy's basically been shooting a lot from random places. I've had, I think, about 4 clear chances. Well, not 4, 3 should I say. So it's the formation that I play. As you guys know, the left back and right back, they fly forward, as you guys probably know. So I knew the problem was, I knew that realistically I didn't have fitness. Fernandinho would have died, Neymar would have died, Ben Yedder would have died, Kyle Walker and Marcelo would have died. Basically, my entire team's stamina would be gone by 70 minutes. And the problem was, these two players are killing me right now in midfield. I can't do anything because they're killing me. Had I had Vieira and Hullet, now that's what I'm trying to say. It's funny how one player makes a big difference. This guy legit changed the entire dynamics of the entire game, and the way I play completely changes because there's one player. So I'm just looking, I see man for man. He's got Dembele and Mbappe as cams. Very fast, very agile, very nimble as well. So I knew that on the counter he'll be deadly. So I had to make that executive decision I decided that I had to take Fernandinho off because he's just killing me. I ended up putting Mbappe, which is a right back, but he's tall and at least he can help me, give me an outlet in midfield, because I was getting killed and he was pressing so high, so I didn't want to lose the ball, especially with the delay. And here I forgot to do the anti-kickoff, should I say. And so I get a pretty good chance here with Mbappe, and I see Mbappe's outlet player, and as you can see now with Mbappe there, it completely changes the dynamic of the game. It's so hard to get past. Get a really good tackle there. I don't think he meant to do that, to be honest, but if he did, fair play. That was actually a really good tackle. You said with a bad pass in the end, but yeah, I had to be aware of the wings. So here at Hermoso, I'm trying to do a bit of both, defending against the wing. I knew that he's going to exploit the wings. I knew my Marcelo and Kyle Walker were getting tired, because don't forget, they're flying up and down the pitch the entire game. And here I knew he was abusing. Now at this point, I came to the conclusion that he's just going to do this the entire game. This is why I think this is why I think I'm not saying top 100 is not easy, but I have friends who were Gold 1 players last year who are top 100 this year. And just by this takes no skill. this skill gap is non-existent in this game. You know, just to pass the ball like that and just do a first-time shot without even getting in the box, it's just barbaric, to be honest. So that's why I'm not knocking this guy. He's probably obviously a very good player. Get really unlucky with the thing over there. So then anyway, I realized I can't play at the back, and this is the issue that I found out as well. Because the delay was quite bad, I couldn't play out the back. So I had to slow the game down really, really bad. So what I meant by that is I couldn't play counter-attacking. So when I won the ball back, let's say for example here, like let's say he would counter my counter. When I won the ball back, I had to play it very, very slow to ensure the ball's going to the right place. And I get screwed here. I don't know what happened here, to be honest. In Babu, I kind of I got outplayed. I don't know. I wouldn't blame the delay for that. I would just say probably outplayed I got. I tried to cut the lane off, and I moved the goalkeeper as well. As you can see, I moved the goalkeeper, but he didn't even green time it. And that's why these Team of the Year players are so OP. This is why team makes a difference at the high level. As you can see, he doesn't even time it. Even his first time shots, he doesn't even time it. He just shoots it normally, and that's the benefit of having a God squad, of having very good players, and rightly so. You don't have to obviously time your shots. And now obviously it's 3-2 now, and I get a really good chance here. And I thought I greened that. I thought I did, and if I greened that, it probably would have gone in. So the key is now just try to get another goal back again. And I was suffering. I'll be honest. Here I was suffering from delay, and I think this is what kind of cost me the game. As you probably saw, so he pauses the game, and I knew that he was going to go defensive, so I knew I had to score now. So what I tried doing is I tried to deliberately create holes in my defense, so he could. So this is kind of a, don't do this, brother, but this is what my objective was. I knew he paused the game, and he's probably going to change to defensive. So he's on a 4-2-3-1, probably defensive. So I knew that I had to get the ball back, and I had to make an attack and go all out before the ball goes out of play, because he'll change the formation. So I kind of deliberately overcommit. I deliberately create a gap in the midfield, just so I want him to kind of make the pass, and I get the ball back in the end, and then I make the attack. And I know this is I know this is do or die. Pressing L1, and I don't know what kind of pass that was. And obviously Ronaldo, 99 Ronaldo, obviously outpaces my players. So I get the ball back again, and I'm thinking, hey, look, I need to attack. If I don't attack now, so I'm pushing everyone forward, pressing L1, and this is where I need the attack. I try to play very slow, and this is why Mbappe makes a big difference. I play the ball to him, beautiful, 2 Hullet and a green time shot, beautiful played. Very good goal in my eyes. Is a good goal. Passed to Mbappe, passed it back to Ben Yedder, and then Hullet, and then pushed it on the outside, and then a green time shot controlled. I think that's a good goal in my eyes. So I knew that. So that's why I did that. It was very important that I got that goal. That goal was very pivotal, because had I not gone that goal, he probably would have changed the entire down. It probably would have parked the bus, to be honest, in some respect. So then here I'm in a bit of a pickle, because Marcelo and Neymar are dead. So is Ben Yedder. Eusebio is dying as well. End up putting Ben Yedder in camp after Arsenal to come back on defense, because I knew that he's probably going to bring on some subs. To be honest, I should have checked what subs he had, but I was too busy trying to figure out a plan. I was like, do I take Kullet off, put him somewhere else? But then that's stupid. I was considering putting Florenzi on, but I thought I'd wait it out. And I saw he has Royce on the bench, and so I looked at that very briefly. He had Son, Lozano, and Royce. And I don't know if you can see that there. So I knew straight away it's done for me, because Lozano is OP. He's got probably team of the season Son red player pick, and he's got Royce red player pick. So he's got really lucky with the red. He's got Ronaldo as well. Unfortunately, I stopped that goal too, and I actually got a Virgil van Dijk last week. Actually, funny enough, that's why I'm going to go to this week. But yeah, anyway, yeah. So at this point, it became a do or die, and for me now it was just like I need to score now, and I knew if I go to extra time, the game would have been lost, because I was suffering bad delay, and more importantly, my players were getting tired, so they couldn't cover the full width of the pitch. So I knew that I had to defend, and it was really hard to see. Like right now, I'm marked with, but you're probably like, why am I playing so defensive? It's because I'm defending against the first time shot. You see, what I'm doing here with Ben Yedder is I'm using him as a sweeper centre back. So I know, for example, he will, if he gets if the ball goes to Messi, he will do like a first time shot. You see what I'm saying? Or if Hullet makes the run over here, and the ball goes to Hullet, he'll do a first time shot. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to block the area. So see here, I'm blocking the area to which you can pass to Hullet. So I'm trying to stop the pass going to him, because I knew this guy was trying to exploit every mechanic to win. And to be honest, he didn't do any L tornadoes. I didn't give him the ability to do the flick up crosses because I was using very wide wingers, as you probably can see. We get a good counter attack here. Kyle Walker, I had to bring it back. Now here, this is when I realized this is when the delay killed me, because what I did here was I held the ball and I shielded it, and then I passed it. But the delay was so bad, it just registered the pass and the turn, and I almost actually lost the ball. And this is when I was like, well, what the hell do I do now, right? And he was pressing me quite a lot. And he was playing, as you can see, quite defensive. And as you can see, I don't know what kind of pass that was. I don't know why he's using the outside the foot. I shouldn't have made that pass in hindsight. But yeah, then I get caught on a counter attack. I tried to cover the run, moved the goalkeeper and bait him. And thank God, Virgil van Dijk had the other area, should I say. And he didn't even time it, so he doesn't deserve to score that anyway. Yeah, so I was kind of, this is the kind of the problem here. It's a big problem when, this is what I'm trying to say. Everyone always asks me, is team important? And I'll be honest, for the average Joe and Jessica out there, it's probably not important. But when you go up against the top 100 players or the very good players, you need it. I'm not knocking anyone, but if you look at the very top players, if you ask them to play with a bad team, very few of them won't be on the same level they are. It's because the good players, obviously, I'm not saying they're not good players, I'm saying they're very, very good players, but I'm saying it's a different situation. Handicap doesn't exist. I don't care what anyone tells you. I don't know what he was doing there. I thought maybe he was trying to give me the ball or something, so I was like, do I give him the ball? And then I realized he was playing, so I was like, whatever. So I just carried on in the end from here. So here, I knew the delay was so bad, so I knew that this Kyle Walker was going to mess it up. So I ended up taking a striker like Eusebio, and I tried to pass the ball to my right back. I knew Messi was there, and ends up going to Lozano. So here I'm just trying to play smart, and he's playing really quite defensive now. And I get countered here really bad, and now it's just about tackling, because I know now if I concede it's done. So I'm trying to do tactical fouls here, and really good defending by me. I knew he was going to pass to that's why pace is very important for me for centre backs. I got Busquets in centre back, as you can probably see. To be honest, maybe I should have moved Busquets to centre back, maybe I mean in CDM. To be honest, looking back, that's probably the best thing to do. But yeah, here now I'm just defending the first time shot, as you can see. Stopping the ball going to his players in that position. And I see the run from Kyle Walker, but I knew he was knackered. As you can see, his stamina bottom right, he's basically dead. And I'm just trying to play smart, waiting for the final attack. He was playing so defensive here, legit parking the bus. Like, it was kind of a bit disgraceful, to be honest. But I can understand why. Obviously, it's the last couple of minutes. You don't want to be conceding 84 minutes. But I was struggling, and I get a really good chance here, good fake shot. And he gets a good block in the end, and then I get countered. So here I just decide to try to do a foul, and then I was thinking it's done if I concede here. Thankfully, defend this really, really well. Pushing back, and then I deliberately stop. Now, as you can see with Van Dijk, now this is not. Now I know people. I always say to everyone, don't push your centre backs out in this instance, but I see Van Dijk. He's a centre back, and he's meant to be over here. But I knew he wanted to pass the ball to Ronaldo so he can do a first time shot, or he's going to try to pass the ball to Hullet over here so he can do the first time shot. So what I'm doing with Van Dijk is I'm basically trying to stop the ball going to both these players. You see that? You see how I'm trying to see how I'm stopping, because you see Ronaldo, he's got the running angle. That's the kind of the angle which you can run to. So on my hand, I got my hand on the analog stick to move the goalkeeper, just in case he does a chip ball to Hullet and does a kind of a half volley or volley into the box. So yeah, and I knew here, first time shot. Luckily, I defended this very, very well. Very, very well. I deliberately moved. I kind of anticipated this. I deliberately moved Van Dijk into the vicinity of where he would be, and I jockeyed, and he blocked it. And thank God, it was kind of sad. To be honest, I think looking back, this should have been one of the games, and maybe I should have abused it. Now here, I'm just trying to wait for the final attack, as you probably know. I've talked about this quite a lot. Make sure you get the final attack. So if you do lose the ball, someone's running back. Now he's pressing me quite a lot, and just trying to go for the final attack. Wait for it. Then as soon as I see 91 minutes, I push forward, and I'm thinking, you know what, this might be a really good chance here. A really, really bad ball by Hullet in the end. I don't know why I played for a through ball, and then he plays it safe. Fair play. And then, but at this point, you see, I knew that it was a long way for me to go. As you can see, my players are dead. That is the issue that I had. Marcelo and Walker both were dying, and I didn't know what to do. I had no choice because I knew that he had, if you remember, he put Kyle Walker, he put Royce on Team of the Season Royce on the wing, and I knew that Marcelo with his stamina will get killed if you stayed in right back. So, and I knew that he might do an alternator cross. I ended up putting Mbabu there. I was considering, do I put Dembele or do I put Florenzi? And in the end, I had to go with Mascherano as as Ferguson would say, or he's meant to say Mascherano. But anyway, yeah, Mascherano. He's because I needed the pace. I knew that I was lacking stamina, and I thought the pace injection of Mascherano's 99 pace, should I say? Yeah, it's really important. That's why I thought having Mascherano on the pitch would be probably ideal. I knew his passing was diabolical, but especially for the long passes, but he was very much needed. And you'll see why, how he actually almost saves me in the game. As you can see, Mascherano's pretty deep over here. His passing's pretty bad, so I can play the very simple passes. And as you can see here, this is very good defending here. This is what you should start doing. I move the play over here with Ben Yedder, and then what I do is I press my second defender press button, and I change to Eusebio, and then I cut the passing lane out over here. So just watch Eusebio over here. So there I use second defender press. So look, I run towards the ball, then I use second defender press. So Ben Yedder will then run towards. Ben Yedder will then press Son, and then I mark the passing lane with Eusebio. You see how Eusebio marked the passing lane, and I intercept the ball. Very, very good way of doing it. I would highly recommend, because if you're watching this, realistically, let's be real, you probably won the subs on my channel. I've only got 100 subs so far for my main channel, so you probably either like my content or you actually really want to get better at the game. Learn to do that. But anyway, yeah. So here I knew that I had to score. As you can see, Mascherano, I'm using him now. That's why. See, this is why Mascherano is so important. You see, that's why I brought him on. Because I knew my players were slow and dead, and I knew that the benefit of Mascherano was, especially against Team of the Season Royce or in the midfield, is he had the pace. I knew he could have passed to save his life, as you can see. It's actually a very simple pass. I control the ball, and I make a very, I don't know how he actually messed up. That's actually a normal pass. It's not even a through ball. But again, Mascherano again does the dirt for me in the end, and that's why he was so important to bring on. He wasn't the player that I wanted to bring on. I wanted to bring Dembele, but he was, in a sense, it was out of necessity more than anything. So again, it's just a really hard way. First time shot. I was watching Ronaldo, and I knew he was going to do a first time shot, and of course, no skill involved. It doesn't even control it like how I do, or even green time it. It just does a first time shot with 99 Ronaldo. And at this point, I knew it was GG. I know the game's not over, but deep down I knew, because I never had the stamina. I knew I had to score very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. I had to score before the second half came to a close. First half of extra time, I meant to say. And I'll be honest, I was getting desperate, because I knew he would lock the game down. And obviously, listen, he's a top 100 player. For him, he's going to do anything to win. As you can see, he's banging out first time shots. He's going to do everything to win. And at first I was thinking maybe he's doing this because I was holding the ball in my defense a bit, but that's because he was pressing me. I remember he was pressing me, but now he's just wasting time. And this is typical top 100 players. You know, they do everything to win. They'll abuse every. This is why. Look, as I said, I'm happy hitting 25, 26 wins without even trying. Basically, most of the time, while streaming, I'm happy doing that and playing the beautiful game, not abusing the mechanics. I'm sure you guys can make your own decision on that, but I'm very happy with not reaching top 100 and not playing like this, because this is just like diabolical. Like, and I knew here it was done. What the most important thing was, what formation was you going to change to? Is what I needed to know. I was thinking either it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 second variation, a 4-2-3-1 normal, a 4-4-1-1, or a 4-4-2. That's probably the formations he was going towards. Press one button almost there. He goes to a 4-1-4-1, almost a 4-5-1. 4-1-4-1 is a very good formation, because what it is that his left mid and right mids are kind of they help cover the wing, the bit more further back and reserved, and he's got Lozano as kind of the player that's going to be the sweeper. So there's only one option I have here, and it's Blitzkrieg. So I end up deciding changing to Blitz. That's the only thing I had. Mascherano, and then I had really no subs, to be honest. I couldn't make a sub because I used all 3 subs, and I was getting desperate. And I knew, to be honest, he would just waste time. So I was really, and then I was like, oh, for goodness sake. Really scummy play, but you know how it is. But again, it's just, I was trying to press, try not to lose my head, just trying to press. And then I realized he's just going to keep wasting time. So I deliberately made holes in my defense. So you watch, I overcommit with my centre backs now. You see with like Mbabu there, I'm deliberately creating holes. The reason why I'm creating holes is I'd rather he push the ball forward and get the ball like this than him. It's better for him. It's better for me to give him the ball and him run towards my goal and get the ball back than him just hold the ball. Do you see what I'm saying? But yeah, it was really difficult. He had a really good chance. And then the referee blew the whistle for God knows for what reason. Why did he blow the whistle when I'm on a counter attack? Because it's basically 2v2 now, as you can see with these 2 players. And I could have done a 1-2. And I was really upset because I was thinking, why would a referee blow the whistle? Maybe you could say smart tactical foul if you actually meant that. And then Mascherano and Babu's in the box. And I was thinking, oh my God, why is Mbabu there out of all players? A disgusting pass by Mascherano, of course. Good reception by those players. And again, he's just playing it safe, passing around, playing it safe. And it's really hard to press. I'm using team press. I'm using second defender press. I'm using everything at my disposal to press here. I don't know what that was. I think that was maybe just me just rushing. Maybe I shouldn't have made that pass. That was probably my fault there. And then this is basically come to the close. And I'll just tell you briefly. I'm just creating holes deliberately in my defense here. Deliberately creating gaps. Trying to win the ball back. Mascherano wins the ball back. To be honest, I played another BS. My flipping own player tackles my player. And I was just saying, you know what? It's one of those games. If you look at the shots and the stats, they don't really tell the entire picture of the game. I truly and firmly believe that I believe that I deserve to win this game. Although he had his chances, I had pretty better chances. And to be honest, he just scored BS goals. To be honest, you saw the corner that he scored. My player got tripped. There should have been a foul towards me. You saw his first time shots. Yes, now he's just obviously playing the professional game. Of course, this is what they're going to do, obviously. Spamming offside trap. Unfortunately, offside trap's not that good this year. It's not as intuitive as FIFA 18. Trying to make him commit. Trying to create that one last chance, and here it is. One last chance. Spamming L1, pushing every single player forward. And I don't know what the fuck that was. Excuse my language. I was so pissed off. That honestly pissed me off. This was the final straw for me, because this was the final attack, and this was when I knew I could possibly score because my players were going to run forward. I don't know if you can see on a radar, right? But you can see, as you can see, my player over here, he's completely unmarked. I don't know if you can see that on a radar. I don't even know if I can zoom in. Let me try 1 second. If we do 1 second, if we do this. I don't know if you can see. Oops, wrong one. So if you just look over here for a second. So what happened was, on the radar, I saw this guy, and I was like, he's clean through. No one's marking him, and I knew he was on the counter attack. The way his players were positioned, and the way my players are positioned, I knew this was it. This is the time to score, and I knew deep down that I'll get the goal. If the attack worked, I strongly believe I would have got this goal, or at least I would have created a very, very good chance. Unfortunately, what happened in the end, something which is, I don't even know what this is, delay or what. I control the ball. I deliberately touch the ball forward, touch it again, so I control, not even running with the ball. And then, I mean, why is my player deselecting that? Legit, and this is when I got really upset, because that was it. That was my chance. The left winger was free, and that was it. I do get the ball back in the end, but it's not the same. I had Hullet, as you can see, as a left wing. So when I had the ball like over here, Hullet would have won the header. I had a lob ball to him, and he would have played the final ball to Lozano. So I get the ball back in the end, but it's still stupid. Then I was annoyed. Because here, his players recovered now, and he was back, and I had 1-1 final chance. Hullet was free, 1-1 final chance, and he got really lucky with that tackle. Really, really lucky. I don't think he meant. I think that was more a bad touch by Eusebio, to be honest. Bit of a delay, but anyway, that was game, set, and match, and it's one of those games, right? I'm not even gonna say that. It's kind of those games where you get unlucky, and I think he probably asked. The final question is: Does teams matter? And that's the final thing against against the average Joe and Jessica up to Elite 3. It doesn't make a difference. But after Elite 3, when you're going up against top players, team means everything. I'm telling you this right now: team means everything, especially in this FIFA. In this FIFA, team means a lot. Just going back to the goals, really. This is my first goal. Very well worked, to be honest. Very bad defending, to be honest, on his part. He overcommitted with Hullet, and I control the ball. Not a first-time shot like he does. Not a first-time shot. I control the ball. He overcommits with Hullet. He gets basically played, and I do a shot near post. This one here, I was so upset. This is the one I was annoyed with. The player switching was really bad, but I let it go because it's part of the game, really. So I took that goal. I wasn't that mad. This goal I was shocked with again. Absolute shockery there. And if you think that dynamic difficulty exists, this is when I should be getting dynamic difficulty this entire game. Because I'm up against top 100 player. If dynamic difficulty existed, this game wouldn't go how the way it did. That's what I'm trying to say. As you can see, he tripped my player. I mean, it should be a foul. It's just absolute nonsense how that's not a foul. The referee should be calling that, because he was obviously going to get the ball, because he just sticks his hand out. Trust me, he's going to get that ball. I know this game well more than you think. He's going to get that ball. He just stick his hand out and he'll punch it out. But yeah, and that's the second goal, and that's basically game, set, and match. He trips, buckles, and that's trying to say I got really unlucky this game, and that's why the pay to win. And I said just his midfield basically won the game. Here I did everything in my power. I actually even moved the goalkeeper. Again, this is why goalkeeper movement is important for FIFA 19. People say it's bad, but you don't understand. Against the broken mechanics, goalkeeper movement is the only thing that can save you. And as you can see here, I knew he was going to do a first-time shot, so I moved my goalkeeper to the right-hand side. I sidestepped to the right-hand side. Look here, that's default. I moved him to the right-hand side, and he doesn't save it. It's very unfortunate. This was his shot, which you could say maybe he should have scored. But to be honest, look, he should have green timed that. I had the angle covered with Van Dijk on the floor. I'm surprised he didn't score that. And obviously the pathetic first time shot. It's probably a feasible angle to a first time shot, but he's not even facing the goal. I mean, like if he was facing a bit more, that way, I'll be like, okay, but that shouldn't be going in, man. I know it's 99 Ronaldo, but you know, it is what it is. I even move my goalkeeper here as well. You can see here, look, that's default, and I move it a bit more to the look. That's default. Now watch him move. See that side step to the right. I move him here, even guess the right way, and I get penalised. But anyway, that's the match. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, I thought I'll upload this just to give you just to let you know that we all struggle, because everyone always thinks that maybe I'm the one who doesn't struggle. Believe me, against top 100 players who got God squads, I get shafted more than anybody, especially if I don't abuse mechanics. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you learned something from this game. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy, boys.